are now listening to the Life of Produk Podcast.
Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Product. You're now locked into the Life of Product Podcast. This is episode 14, man. Shouts out to the new YouTube subscribers. It is youtube.com/Life of Product Podcast. Shouts out to the people on streaming, everybody on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify. Follow the kid. Follow me ASAP. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the younger listeners, y'all are heavy on Spotify. Go over to Spotify and follow my show. I'm dropping knowledge on y'all, man. Come on, man. I got you as the kid. You know I'm the inspiration dealer. It is Thanksgiving Eve. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I can't believe this whole year just flew by fast. This 2023 was like a eye blink. That's what it was. I literally woke up January 1st, went to sleep, and now boom, we here, November. The day before Thanksgiving. Shouts out to y'all. Before I get into the show, I have to give a big, I hate doing these, man. I got to give a big rest in peace to my Aunt Joy. My aunt passed away recently. Shouts out to my uncle-in-law, love and light to him, blessings to him, man. You know, his lovely wife passed. These things are never easy. And unfortunately, a lot of these things happen right before the holidays. And that's like the hardest time to deal with things, you know, with losing family. I've lost family around the holidays, obviously now and before. I've seen people lose their loved ones around the holidays before. It's never easy, man. My aunt was dope. My aunt was fire. My aunt, she was a writer/author. She was a poet. She was a community leader. She was a philanthropist. My aunt was very big in the community out in Santa Barbara, California. Very big out there. She had a lot of friends. She had a lot of people that loved her. My aunt, you know, she was a New Yorker. She went to North Carolina, back and forth between North Carolina for a while, went back to New York. She went to Santa Barbara when she was, early on, and spent the rest of her life out there. Her husband, my uncle-in-law, he was a photographer, and they did very great for themselves out there with building a name for themselves. Not just building a name, but building like a pillar of respect. Respect goes a long way. You can't buy respect. You can't do it. You can't buy respect. You cannot buy a legacy. You have to earn respect, and you have to build a legacy. And that is exactly what my aunt did. And I tell a lot of people, man, I aspire to be like my aunt. You know, I am my own person. I'm an individual. But that respect, the respectability, the respect factor that I want in life, that I want to achieve in life, that's what I want. That is exactly what I want. Shouts out to my pops. These things are never easy. She was my pop's last sibling on his mother's side. My grandmother, my grandmother, rest in peace. You know, my pops has other siblings, so he didn't really, not to put business up, but he didn't grow up with or whatever, or know too much. Yeah, you know them now, but at a certain point in life, he didn't. So, that was a sibling that he knew, growing up, along with, my uncle and my other aunt that passed away years ago. So these things are never easy, man. So, you know, love and light to them. I'm wishing them strength, the strength that they need. You know, sometimes as parents, we have to hide our pain. You know what I'm saying? We have to hide our pain, because even if your children are grown, you still have to hide your pain sometimes. And you know, I've done that as a parent. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all who listen, a lot of y'all who are parents that's listening now have done that. And why do we do that? Why can't we just let it out? I don't got the answers for that. And I'm genuinely asking y'all, to all of y'all that hit me up, that watch the show, that listen to the show, that are parents, if you have had to hide your pain from your kids, whether your kids are little, whether your kids are grown, hit me up and let me know, because we need to come back and recess this. We need to talk about this on another show. Why do you feel like you have to hide your pain from your kids? Now, I've broke down in front of my kids before and let it out. My parents have broke down before in front of me and let it out, but that's for them, that's not something I saw often, especially from my mother. My pops, I'd seen that more from my pops than my mom's. I seen more emotional from my mom's when family or friends died. That's when I saw emotion, because my mother was the oldest girl. She was the second oldest child. So my mom was from the projects. You know what I'm saying? It was different. She was different. You know what I'm saying? And you know, speaking of my mother, my mother, rest in peace. My mother passed away in early 2020. This is our fourth Thanksgiving without it, and it just doesn't fit. It still doesn't feel right. It doesn't. You know, again, you have to hide your pain, you know, for your kids. And I've had to do that and hold it together, hold it down. Hey, listen, Thanksgiving is gonna be great this year. Don't matter. We got this. We eat. It doesn't matter how much food I make or how much food we got for Thanksgiving. There's still a void there, man. There's this, you know, and it's gonna be like that for the next few years. You know, we have to live our lives when we lose our loved ones, and we have to continue on and carry on, not only for ourselves but for them. for their spirits and say, hey, all right, we miss you, but we're going to live it up. We're going to represent for y'all, right? But there's still a void that it can take a while to not even just feel it, but to just like step over it. Like that void is here, we got to step over that void. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't just dwell on it when that person passes away. We have to live our lives, right? Very hard. Very hard. But so rest in peace to my aunt. I've seen a lot of people tagging her page and posting things like that. I have a lot of people. And I would love to make it out there. I've been so busy. And I wanted to make it out to California before she passed away, but there was so much going on in life, I just couldn't do it. I would love to make it out there, just and sit with my uncle-in-law and just, he's a really cool dude. It's funny. So they had, when I was still living in Queens or whatever, because I had moved back to Brooklyn from Queens. I was living in Queens for like 3 years, and my aunt hit me up randomly, and she's like, "Hey nephew, what's going on?" She's like, "Hey, we're in town." It was a last minute thing. They came for I think for a couple days, I believe. And she was like, "Can you give us a ride to the airport?" I was like, "Of course, I got you." But she was like, "Well, just come over and kick it with us for a while, before you take us." So my uncle-in-law, I believe he's originally from Queens. I believe his mother lived in Queens. I don't know if she's still alive, but she was older, and she had a house. So we're standing on the porch, the house he grew up in, his mom's house, and he said, "Look at that house across the street." So if you look across the street from his mother's house, in the house directly next to it, to the left, the house is actually to the right of that house, but to our left. He was like, "Yo, you know who grew up in that house, right?" I'm like, "Nah," because we was in Southside. He was like, 50 Cent grandmother owned that house, owned it. His grandparents owned that house. I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah." Small world. Like I tell people all the time, even though New York is a big city, we're all connected in some kind of way. We're all connected in some kind of way. And I just found that to be very interesting because I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it was great, spending that day with them and that time with them and just kicking it and stuff like that. I would love to. And like I said, I wish I could have made it out to California before my aunt passed away. I did get to speak to her over the phone several times. So shouts out to my uncle. I appreciate him, making that call. And, I think we made the call. He made the call. I can't remember. But just allowing us in that time, of pain to get on the phone and speak to my aunt, during her last days or whatever, just to let her know that we love her. And just and then we're there supporting her, I'm saying, in those hard times. But I would love to make it out to California and just sit with him in his element and just hear stories of my aunt, because my aunt was on the West Coast for a good amount of years. She would come back every now and then, but I would love to just sit and hear, him tell me stories of things that I didn't know or we didn't know, of a lot of the things that she accomplished while she was out there. There's a lot of positivity came from her way after she passed away recently, from people, just not just business people that she did business with, but friends of hers that just really, really miss her, love her, and cared about her. I would love to just be in that element and just hear not even just from my uncle, but from these people, just hear these stories from people and tell us the things that I missed out on as a nephew being back in New York or whatever, and her being out in California, because there's a lot. Let me tell you something. If I know my aunt was getting it in. Getting it in. I'm not talking about partying. I'm talking about life. She was lifing. She was lifing. For a person to my aunt loved being black. She loved being a black woman. She loved her family. She loved the energy of being African American. She loved that. She loved writing. She loved life. And and I tell people all the time, man, there's more to life than money. There's more to life than drugs. There's more to life than alcohol. There's more to life than sex. There's more to life than the cute stuff, the things that we like. Life be lifing, but it don't always be lifing in a bad way or in a negative way. Sometimes in a positive way, life be lifing. When you're able to sit in your element and be you, when you're able to go out into the world and be you and show people who you really are, that is God given. That is beautiful. That you got your Leroy glow, fam. You know what I'm saying? You got your Leroy glow, and not a lot of people are able to reach that in life and get to that point where they're out in the public and they're like, "Yo, this is who I am. This is me. Accept it or be, oh well." You know what I'm saying? And it can take years to get to that point. It can take everything in you. Everything in you might have to be broken down to get to that point in life, but you can get there. I think I'm just about there. Get my Leroy glow. Cheers, the boy product. Life Product Podcast. This is episode 114. We will be right back with the second part of the show. Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Product. We're now back with the Life of Product Podcast. If you need advertisement, sponsorships, interviews, it is lifeofproduct@gmail.com. If you need anything, hit me up, man. Let's get your brand on here. Let's get your let's put your music out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all need a certain type of look to get your career jump started. And I am that guy that's gonna help you because I'm inspiration. Deal G is the boy Product. Episode 114. Episode 114 is titled "The Future Is Now." You know, Tupac said something one time, and he said, "You're gonna see some things in the future that's gonna make it hard to smile. You're going to see some things in the future that's going to make it hard to smile." Well, we're seeing it. We're seeing it. The future is now. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell people we're living in the future's present, and they would look at me like I was crazy. Like, fam, what are you talking about? Yo, you tweaking or something? I don't do drugs. I don't. I take melatonin. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I had a wild melatonin dream the other day, and yo, it was trippy, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I bet, I ain't gonna talk about that. I told y'all about my Dracula melatonin dream one time. The one I had the other night, nah, man, it was different. I was like, nah, let me just like fall asleep naturally after that. But yeah, you're gonna see some things in the future that's gonna make it hard to smile. And we are living in the future is now. You know what I'm saying? The future is now. Man, so this weekend, a couple things I want to touch on. I don't want to touch on this stuff, but a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to touch on it, right? I'm not giving my opinions on it. I'm just going to talk about it, right? Because the way I grew up in the era where minding your business was a thing. It was cool to mind your business. Some stuff now, here's the thing, right? As a grown man, I feel like us men in America, we have the power to heal everything. I feel like us men are meant to be leaders, and I'm not belittling women. I'm speaking on men because I am a man. I am a man. I said I am a man. I am a man. So I'm speaking on men on behalf of us and to us. We have the power literally to heal just about everything or a lot of stuff, and we don't utilize that. But I did grow up in an era where minding your business was a thing, right? So I don't want to fully give my opinion on it. I just want to touch on a lot of stuff. The whole, Cassie, we all know Cassie just was the claims that she made against Diddy, the allegations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that man made mad. I don't know if they what type of if they there's a full on launch against this dude, but the Tupac stuff with the Keefe D stuff. Now Cassie saying, the allegations of he was an abuser, he was a rapist, mentally, physically, all this type of stuff, dog. There's like a whole onslaught against this dude right now. I am a firm believer that when certain things happen to us, when we get shots fired at us from all these different angles, take a step back, sit down for a minute. I think Diddy might need to sit down for a minute, and he's a very smart man, so I'm pretty sure he understands that concept. You might need to sit down for a minute, brother. I don't advocate rape on this show. I don't advocate violence against women. I have two sisters who slightly experienced violence against them from past relationships. And I told y'all this, the first time I had a gun pulled out on me years ago was when I moved to North Carolina. A random white dude pulled a gun out. He thought I was walking with me, my cousin, and my nephew's cousin was walking to a store. He just pulled it out because he saw three big black boys. Second time I had a gun pulled out on me was about a month or two later from my sister baby daddy, from my nephew Pops. He was trying to put hands on my sister. I jumped up. I was about to whoop him out. He pulled a gun out on me. And the funny thing about that, there was no bullets in the gun. And I ain't find that out until later. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't not to be a advocate for violence, but let me tell you something, fam. I don't know where he's at in life right now, but we could run that back. I would love to run that back. I just feel like that's a chapter we should probably close because I haven't seen him in years. I'm never gonna sit down and break bread with dude. It's not happening. Shout out to my nephew. My nephew's done great in life. He's graduated school. He's taking on a career, I believe, in the medical field now. If I could be wrong, but I love my nephew, man, and I haven't seen him in a minute. I gotta head down there and go check him out. But he's doing great. But his pops, yeah, I will duff you out, brother. And we can talk about it after that. So I'm not an advocate for violence on women. I've been arrested for stuff I didn't even do. And I'm not gonna touch into that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't condone that. I hope that whatever happened to Cassie, money don't heal everything. It doesn't heal everything, but I hope whatever happened to Cassie Not what her just getting this money. I hope she can get some type of peace from everything. I hope she can get some type of peace from everything because it's still recent. It's still kind of fresh, even though she's moved on. She's married now. I believe she's a mother. It's still kind of recent, and it wasn't long ago when she was with Diddy. It was not long ago when she was with Diddy. Uh, I can't imagine what that woman went through. I can't imagine what she went through. And I'm not saying Diddy did it. I don't know. I wasn't there. This is, all allegations. But for a person to put allegations out there and demand money and a person settles, then that means there's some truth to it. There is some truth to it. Now I don't know how much he settled for. And this is not me taking shots at Diddy at all. My only concerns, there's two concerns that I have, right? My two concerns are that woman is all right, that she gets some type of restitution from all of this, and whatever Diddy's going through mentally, if he did do that, whatever he's going through mentally, physically, emotionally, he can come to a place of peace within himself to not only hurt anyone else, but to not hurt himself anymore. Because you got children, brother. You got children, brother. Now, kids are very inquisitive. Kids are not dumb. They pick up on a lot. They learn a lot. So if there is stuff happening, these kids are going to question you about it. They are going to question you about it. You see, when me as a parent, I've always kept an open book with my kids. I've always kept an open line of communication. I don't hide anything from them. I've told my kids my flaws. I've told them my positivities. I told them my aspirations. I've not only told them, I've shown them this type of stuff. And you have to be like that with your kids. In a situation like that, I can't imagine how the conversation would go with his kids coming to him asking him, "Hey, did you do this?" And his response. And he's got daughters. You know what I'm saying? You got daughters, brother. So, like I said, I'm not taking shots at this man. I don't take shots at people. Like, I prefer to mind my business, but a lot of y'all been asking me to talk about this. If he is in a place of hurt, if he has he's experienced a lot. Diddy Pops was killed when he was a kid. You understand what I'm saying? Diddy Pops was from Harlem. There's been stories that his pops was about that life and things like that. That had to take a toll on. And I'm not sitting here trying to make excuses for him. I'm looking at it from the outside because as a man, things that I've experienced in life, things that I've seen my parents go through, it took a toll on me, and that stuff stays with you for years. That stuff, it don't just leave you. That type of stuff don't just leave you. So, imagine, your pops was killed when you was younger. And your pops was of a certain lifestyle. He was in a hood doing street stuff. And now your mom's is raising you, and you went to college. You've been pushing for all this. You've had to deal with all of this stuff going on. Then, there's the bisexual and the gay allegations of things like that. Now, I've only went but so far in entertainment, and I'm kind of happy about that now. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I came to a record deal a couple times in life. It didn't happen. I'm kind of happy about that because I've learned to control my career. I've learned a lot of stuff on the business side. I've put money up to where my stuff is me. Like, I control it, right? And I never want to have myself or my brand under a contract the way somebody else is controlling. I don't want to do that, right? Now, with all of this stuff, there's the bisexual and the gay allegations. We don't know if some of that stuff is true, right? Just hypothetically, we don't know what happened to that man in his life to make him do that because energy is transferable. One thing I've never understood was, say if a man, and we've heard these stories and we've seen this stuff. We've seen some of this stuff within our own families, the black community. Y'all be trying to hide stuff and sweep it under the rug. Black community, say if this, we've seen situations, say if Diddy, if hypothetically as a child he was molested by another man or whatever, or there was like sexual hypertensions there from coming at him from different avenues from other adults. Now he's doing it. At a certain point, he might need therapy. He might need to sit down with somebody. They might need to tap into that and let him know it's okay to not be okay, but what you're doing is not okay. So we need to stop that ASAP. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another topic. I've never really heard people talk about that in regards to him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was talking about that with R. Kelly taking enough for him. So what about Diddy? Why can't we give Diddy not a pass, but why can't we give him that satisfaction of saying, have you been hurt before? G is the Boy Product, Life of Produk Podcast. This is episode 114. The future is now. We will be right back with the third part of the show. Stay tuned. Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Product, man. I'm back with the Life of Product Podcast. This is episode 114. The future is now. Again, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgivings with your families, man. Holidays don't be holidaying like it used to be. Maybe for some of y'all, I don't know, man. After my mom's passed away, I think that kind of not changed the narrative of it, but I haven't fully got back into it. Of course, I celebrate it, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't fully got back into it. Okay, when it comes to Thanksgiving, I celebrate the food part of it. I don't celebrate what it was originally about because, look, can we keep it real? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the Pilgrims versus Indians, how the Pilgrims did them dirty. I was never, I never liked that part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only there for the food and liquor, like most black people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing, baby. Bong bong. The future is now. You know, man, there's a lot of stuff. I kind of changed the narrative of today's episode. I was going to talk about some other stuff, like when I was writing my notes out previously, but then a lot of stuff been happening in entertainment this week, and a lot of y'all been asking me to talk about it. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Hassan Campbell. I hope that brother is all right. If y'all seen it, recently he got shot. I believe while he got shot and was on live driving himself to the hospital. I didn't see the video of him getting shot. I just saw the video of him outside. It looked like he was in front of his building, yelling. People was throwing bottles at him. Then I saw the video of him, like a quick clip of him driving himself to the hospital after he got shot. Like I said, I didn't want to talk about this, but I will say this, and I'm not critical of nobody. I hope that man is all right, brother. I hope you good, brother. You can't. I don't know his background, and I don't know how much people he got behind him. I really don't know, son. I don't know him. I don't be in tune with like a lot of quote unquote celebrities or famous people. I don't follow a lot of celebrities. I like realism. So the people with me with the podcast kind of catching on now and getting a look. I was already doing music, but with the podcast kind of pushing the narrative of my entertainment stuff, I like keeping in contact with the real people I was in contact with before all of this, if that makes any sense. It helps keep me grounded. And I don't like weird energy. I don't like fake energy, right? So I don't be in a lot of circles of like quote unquote celebrities or famous people or people blowing up on social media, YouTubers like that. Shouts out to them. It's just not my crowd. So I don't know a lot about Son. I've seen his clips. I don't follow him. I've seen his clips on YouTube. I've seen his shorts, stuff like that. But listen, brother, all I'm gonna say is this, right? From some of the clips I've seen him talking and things like that, and you can't be critical of gangsters if you ain't ready to match that gangsterism. And I'm not saying he's soft. I'm not saying none of that. But if you ain't got 20-foot soldiers ready on deck, certain things you can't touch or talk about. Because some of the things that you'll say about these dudes, they got 20 to 30 to 50-foot soldiers ready to rock out, and they are all on payroll. They are all on payroll. So 2-3 dudes you might got that love you, that's ready to rock out. They got 20, 30, 50 employees that don't care about you. They will pop you and go to sleep comfortably tonight. So sometimes you got to know how to mind your business on certain stuff, brother. You got to mind your business, brother. Also, certain issues, like I said, I hope Son is all right. I really do. But this is me just giving my opinion from the outside. I'm giving my opinion from the outside. You can't speak on certain issues or certain people when you are easily accessible. You can't. I don't know his living situation. I don't know if he's still in the hood. From the clips I was seeing from other people posting, they said he was in front of his building. I don't know. I don't know none of that. That man might be living great. I don't know. But if you still easily accessible, if you still in the hood, people know your address. They see what bodegas you going to. They see what clubs you going to. You can't speak on certain stuff because somebody is going to come check you one day. You can't. Let me tell you something. One of the number one rules of the hood. One of the top 10 rules of the hood. You can't poke your chest out and walk up the block ready to rock because somebody's chest is bigger than yours. And they will rock you. You cannot do that. So I think that what happened to him is very unfortunate. I hope he's all right. I hope his family's all right, because if somebody hit him, they might be coming after his family. I don't know if he got kids. If you still in a hood, your kids is in a hood, you got to chill out. You have to chill out. You can't put certain type of energy out there. Or what? And let's be real. A lot of us that we post clips, we speak on certain issues. Part of it is for clickbait. Can I be honest and say that? Even though I'm on my show and I talk realism and I inspire, some of the issues I talked about it because I know people want to hear it, like I'm doing right now. But clickbait will get you shot, brother. Hence, look what happened. You know what I'm saying? I believe he was on, like I said, he was on live. He had his phone out. His phone was right like in front of him, about 2-3 feet away from him when a lot of that was going on, when they was throwing bottles and something from out the window. Boy, you can't do that. You can't do that. Today might be a day. It might be a day. I made people mad with some of the stuff that I said. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had nobody approach me in the street. Thank God. People in my DMs and email me wild stuff, but you can't, certain stuff, man. This weekend entertainment has been wild. And I didn't want to talk about this neither. Y'all keep hitting me up, man. I got about 10, 15 DMs. Are you going to talk about this? All right. Okay, I'm going to do it. The Tasha K interview she did with the dude, I think his name is Brother Bilal. He was one of Will Smith's best friends and his assistant, I guess, for a long time. They both was from Philly. I watched that whole interview. I've never watched the Tasha K interview. And I'm saying that respectfully because, and I don't, nothing negative to say about Tasha K. A lot of people don't like Tasha K. I personally don't watch a lot of her interviews because I don't want to formulate an opinion in my head of her, because I love to see a black woman doing her thing, but I've heard a lot of negativity about it. I haven't heard anything good. So me to stay neutral in a lot of stuff, I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. So this is the only full interview. I've seen clips, of course. We all see clips. We don't explore page and all that. But this is the first full interview I've ever watched from Tasha K. It was a really good interview. She conducted herself very good. I just feel like certain stuff shouldn't be said. Now, certain stuff have to be said. And once you make somebody mad or you push somebody to a certain limit, it's gonna be said. I don't know that man from a hole in the wall. And I'm not gonna sit here and say everything he said was accurate, but there was a lot of accuracy points that he made. Well, a lot of points that sounded accurate. This man had names, timestamps, dates, and apparently his book has proof. They said now the interview. Let me backtrack. The interview that Tasha K did, she did an interview with a dude named Brother Bilal, and apparently Brother Bilal was working with Will Smith, and there's a lot of the gay allegations he's confirmed. He's confirmed Will Smith is hit the things with Jada Pinkett and things like that. And I don't want to go into too much detail of that because I don't want it to sound like I'm no matter what we see or what we think we know, I would never get on here and disrespect that man's wife, whether they're they are separated or going through a divorce or whatever. She's still somebody's wife. She's still somebody's mother. She's still somebody's daughter. You understand what I'm saying? So I would never do that. But I do want to touch on a couple things, man. We all saw the clip of when he said he caught Will Smith and Duane Martin having sex in I guess in a trailer of a show or whatever like that. I feel like certain things need to be put out there, and I feel like certain things don't need to be put out there. We can't control who puts what information out there, and it seems like they really made this dude mad. This dude is mad. I mean, he has a right to be mad from the things that he's put out there. But we also, like I said, some things don't need to be put out there. Some things need to be put out there. We have the option of what we want to listen to. We do. And that my solution to everything, and not just this situation, to the negativity being put out there, we're being force-fed a lot of negativity. I'm not calling this negativity, but it's somebody's business. Now, shouts out to Tasha K for still pushing through that lawsuit. She got a crazy lawsuit pending with Cardi B. Like, I heard it's like $4 million, dog. That's wild. Now, the average person would have folded. Now, I'm not saying Cardi B ain't have a right to sue her. So if I feel like somebody's causing defamation towards me, I'm gonna sue you too. That's what we doing. We'll go to court. So, shouts out to Cardi B for that, but also shouts out to Tasha K for still pushing through these dark times, because somebody from what I'm hearing, some of the information that she's putting out there might need to be put out there. But we as individuals, we have the right to hit the off button. Some of y'all sit online and before I wrap the show up, a lot of y'all sit online all day. Y'all let certain things spew into your brain. Is changing your psyche. It's changing your emotions. It's damaging your mental health. Right? I don't let celebrities do damage my mental health. I'll turn it off and go on Netflix and just reset everything. You know what I'm saying? But there is an off button to all of that. There is an off button to all of that. Unfortunately, these people who are really going through it, they don't have an off button. It's their life. It's their life. But us watching their lives, we have an off button. Is the boy product, Life of Produk Podcast. This is episode 114. The future is now. God bless all of you guys. I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving with your loved ones. I'm out, baby.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk Podcast.